When a woman crosses that invisible line of loyalty, she rarely admits it. Her words might stay soft, her smile might look the same, but her energy changes. And if you're emotionally aware, you'll feel it before you ever find proof. Because no matter how carefully she hides it, intimacy leaves a mark. It changes her mood, her rhythm, and the way she interacts with you. You won't see it in her phone at first, but you'll sense it in her silence, in her eyes, in the way she behaves after she's been with someone else. These aren't assumptions. They're emotional and psychological patterns observed over and over again by behavioral experts. So if something feels off and you can't quite name it, pay attention. These are the 8 hidden signs she just slept with another man, and your instincts are not lying to you. The first sign is emotional disconnection. When a woman shares intimacy with someone else, her emotional energy shifts. She suddenly feels distant, not just physically, but mentally. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel forced. Her laughter sounds rehearsed. Her presence feels distracted. It's as if she's there, but her soul is somewhere else. You'll notice it in small moments. When she hugs you, it lacks warmth. When she looks at you, her eyes don't linger. Guilt builds emotional walls, and she starts creating space between you and her, hoping you won't notice that something inside her has changed. The second sign is irritability for no reason. After betrayal, guilt often transforms into tension. She becomes more defensive, more easily triggered, more short-tempered. She'll pick fights about things that never mattered before because she needs emotional distance to justify what she's done. The mind can't carry guilt without conflict, so it projects that unease outward. Instead of admitting the truth, she'll make you the problem. This behavior isn't random, it's psychological self-defense. Subconsciously, she's trying to convince herself that she was right to drift away from you. The third sign is unusual calmness. This one confuses most men. You expect guilt to make her nervous, but instead, she might seem unusually relaxed. That calmness doesn't come from peace, it comes from release. The secrecy has been fulfilled, the tension of temptation has passed, and she feels momentarily free. For the first time in a while, she's not struggling between loyalty and desire. She's already crossed the line, and for now that gives her temporary emotional relief. But underneath that calm is numbness, a silence that feels colder than before. The fourth sign is sudden changes in physical intimacy. Either she avoids intimacy altogether, or she becomes overly affectionate to distract you. There's rarely an in-between. If she's distant, it's because guilt makes physical closeness feel uncomfortable. If she's unusually passionate, it's because she's trying to cover the emotional gap by using intimacy as proof of connection. But even then, something will feel off. Her touch might be mechanical, her rhythm different, her presence distracted. You'll sense that something isn't aligning between body and soul. Because while lust can be faked, emotional connection cannot. The fifth sign is increased privacy and sudden boundaries. Before, she didn't mind if you saw her messages or used her phone for a quick call. Now she guards it like a secret diary. Her screen faces down, her notifications disappear, and she gets defensive if you ask simple questions. She'll tell you she values her privacy, that you're overthinking, that you need to trust her. But what she's really protecting isn't space, it's evidence. And she'll frame that secrecy as independence because it's easier to defend boundaries than lies. The sixth sign is a shift in her routine. Cheating isn't spontaneous, it's structured. You'll start noticing new habits, new patterns. Maybe she suddenly works late, joins a new fitness class, or spends longer on errands. Her explanations will sound logical, but the timing won't make sense. You'll feel it intuitively, that her schedule no longer revolves around shared moments, but around something you're not part of. These small routine shifts are her way of creating windows of opportunity. It's not just about where she goes. It's about how she seems lighter after certain absences, as if she's carrying a secret only she understands. The seventh sign is guilt-driven kindness. She'll become more affectionate, more polite, more generous, temporarily. She'll compliment you unexpectedly, do small favors, or initiate intimacy out of nowhere. It feels good at first, but the energy behind it feels strange. She's not doing it out of love. It's her conscience trying to balance the emotional scale. The guilt makes her want to prove she's still a good person, that she hasn't completely betrayed the relationship. But that kindness fades fast, replaced again by emotional coldness when the guilt wears off. The eighth and final sign is avoidance of eye contact during emotional moments. Eyes are windows to the soul, and when there's guilt, those windows close. When you try to talk about feelings, she'll look away. When you show vulnerability, she'll feel uneasy. When you say, "I love you," her response feels delayed or rehearsed. She avoids your gaze not because she doesn't care, but because she can't handle the reflection of her own actions. Looking into your eyes reminds her of the loyalty she betrayed. And no matter how strong her words sound, her eyes will always tell the truth. When these 8 signs begin appearing together, emotional distance, irritability, calmness, physical change, privacy, new routines, sudden kindness, and lack of eye contact, it's rarely coincidence. It's emotional evidence of something deeper. And while many men ignore their instincts, hoping it's just stress or mood swings, your intuition knows. Because when a woman's loyalty shifts, her energy changes first. You don't need to be a detective. You just need to pay attention to what no longer feels the same. Dr. Alina Rose always says, "A woman's actions after betrayal are louder than any confession." The truth doesn't need words. It reveals itself through disconnection. Once she's crossed that line, her spirit can't mirror yours the same way anymore. Her laughter feels hollow, her attention divided, her soul distant. You'll feel it when she hugs you. You'll feel it when she walks past you. Because when someone else has touched her, even her silence carries a different vibration. But here's what's most important. If you notice these signs, don't beg, don't explode, and don't chase. Let your calmness expose the truth. Guilt grows louder in peace. The more you stay grounded, the harder it becomes for her to pretend. The truth always surfaces, not because you demanded it, but because deception can't survive silence. Your power as a man isn't in proving she cheated, it's in controlling your reaction. You don't need revenge, you don't need validation. You need clarity. Because the moment you stop seeking explanations and start protecting your peace, her behavior will tell you everything her words are trying to hide. So if you sense these signs, trust your intuition. The eyes may lie, the phone may lie, but energy never does. You'll always feel it first, before you see it, before you hear it. And when you do, walk away with dignity. Because no matter how well she hides the evidence, she'll never escape the memory of the man who knew her truth without saying a word.